So the BMX experience at Woodward was so much fun. We had a blast hanging out with everyone, just seeing so many BMX riders that were all on the same page. Like they were just there to ride their bikes and enjoy themselves, and it was amazing. The energy was contagious, and in my opinion, it's like the best weekend of BMX of the year because it brings so many people out, especially people that you haven't seen in a really long time. One of the highlights for me, it might sound a little selfish, but I ended up running into some of the locals that used to ride my skate park years and years ago. I hadn't seen them at my skate park since around 2007 or 2008. So they got back into riding BMX again after all these years and ended up coming out to the weekend. And as soon as I ran into them, they started telling me about a video that they released back in like 2004-ish. The video was called Crash Test Dummies, and it was just the local riders making videos of themselves. But they also had a secret section in the end of the video that was my section alone. It was just all my riding, so he wanted to show me while we were there. So we pulled out the phone and we all sat down and we went in Vimeo where the video was listed, and we got to watch the footage of me riding that I had never seen before. And this footage was so important to me because it was a section of my old skate park where the bowl ramp was, and I used to love that bowl, but I also used to kill that bowl. I had so many original lines in there and so many original tricks, and in that time frame I never had a video camera or had friends that had video cameras, so I never filmed any of it. And over the years I would sit there and think back to, man, it would be amazing if I did have footage of that, and today I actually do. And Chris Bird, the guy that filmed and edited the Crash Test Dummies video, was nice enough to let me use this footage on the channel to show you all. So right now we're going to go over this video and we're going to talk about all the tricks that stand out to me. And there's some really original riding in here. This time frame of my riding was some of the most explosive in my career. I think the time frame between 2004 and 2007, like I just didn't stop. It was just non-stop progression, and this was the start of it, and we get to check it out right now. So let's watch the video. So the video has the Chemical Brothers song, and I know I'm gonna get copyright for this, so I decided to like run the music really low and put some music over the top of it. But this is the intro of it. You can see there's some editing, getting you hyped up for the video. And this one right here, we're gonna get to that. That's gonna be the last clip of the video. But here we are in the back bowl, and I love this ramp because it was just so many options, so many wall rides, so many railings, so many like weird railing gaps that you can do, go over to the mini ramp, and like starting things off straight away. Foo-Foo to ice pick to fakie on that. That was about a probably 5.5, 6 foot wall, and it was a 4 foot ramp, so it's pretty big. Here's a box jump clip. There's me doing a 180 over the box jump. At the time, I used to like 180 like pretty much every day and also do 540s over it, so it's cool to see that. Now this clip right here, we're gonna pause that and we're gonna talk about it because that is a tail up pocket air. And at the time, like pocket airs were like just becoming a thing. So a tail up pocket air was a big deal. And for me to be able to do it in that bowl, like that bowl was the closest thing I had to anything that was sort of pocket. So it wasn't the best pocket tail up ever, but it's just cool that I was able to try to adapt and do that trick. And at the time I was doing a lot of hang five stuff. And you can see I was doing hang five to manual, to a bubica on there. Like I was just all about making combinations, and I feel like that kind of was my whole life anyway. Here's a nice one, a toothpick back over 270. I've been trying to tell Maddie how easy that trick was, and I finally have footage to prove it. But here's a hang nothing back to hang five, dropping into a manual. It looks like I went for like a Foo-Foo combo, but I ended up like slipping off, but still pulled it. So there's a video of just the pocket air itself. Like I said, it's cool since it was so long ago, but definitely pockets have come a long way. I used to love riding this section because there were so many different lines in it. And as you can see, like cruising back and forth on that hip, going to that wall, which was my favorite. This wall as well. This was like a big practice wall for me to do all of my combinations, like ice picks and whatnot. And there was like one of my favorite railings ever, that Foo-Foo. Here's like a little bit of tight line, like back and forth in between the over and to 540 there, like using that pocket. And then like that trick right there, we'll pause it, like that's pretty decent. Like that's a 6 probably-ish, 6.5-ish. And I'm gonna say the ramp was about 5 feet. So like that was a decent size ice pick to fakie. And I'm gonna put credit to like guys like Mike Aiken for doing huge ice pick to fakies like that and making it look possible, because he's the reason why I was doing tricks like that, because he set the bar so high, and I don't know, I just was trying to keep up and do my best to emulate. So pretty much all of these clips are filmed in this back bowl, and look at that bubica on that railing, like that is no joke. Here's another angle, like it was definitely a different day, and I did the bubica. You can see how big the gap is, and there I rolled all the way across the fakie tail. And at the time, fakie tails were a pretty big deal, so that's pretty cool to see. Here's another hang 5 line, and this time I got pretty creative. I like left the bike hanging over, landed in a pedal grind, and did 270 out, which is a pretty cool combination. Here's a crazy one. We're gonna slow it down on every single one of these. So we're gonna talk about that first one. You can see I didn't go all the way up on the Foo-Fanu. The thing was, I was going on the bottom part of the railing and keeping my front wheel like hanging above the top one, which is pretty crazy. Like, it's a pretty reckless move. Now, while we were watching this video at Woodward, I noticed that the next one is pretty insane as well. I go all the way on the bottom railing on that big Abubuca I was just talking about. That deck was a huge deck for an Abubuca or a Foo-Fanu, but to do it at the halfway point, the low part of the rail in the middle, that is no joke right there. I totally forgot that I even did that one, so to see footage of that and surprise myself, like, that is just the coolest thing. Like, I am very impressed with myself from 2004 right there. Then I finished it off by doing another half railing combination, but this time I do a Abubuca that was on that wall that was like a kind of a railing but also a wall ride at the same time, so I had to keep my front wheel above that one from clipping as well. So the creativity on that line itself like really impresses me, and I'm so glad I got reminded of it. So we're going to be moving to the final clip of the video, and just to give you guys some idea of what this clip is, like, this is so important to me and my career because this was like the first variation of a trick that like literally I was doing at every single big contest towards the end of my career. That was like my banger trick for a box jump, and it was the backflip double tail. Now, I never thought this video existed. I had this photo sequence that was shot inside Ride, but they also made a poster out of it as well. And the crazy thing about this is nobody at the time was doing anything like this. It was like a trick that I was building up in my head. This is my goal. I'm gonna set this one to try to be the first to do this. And the truth was, around the same time, Adam Baker also did one, and he did one absolutely perfect over a dirt jump. But my variation I did was a lot different, and is a lot different than I did towards the end of my career, because this one is like some kind of crazy off-axis 360 double tail whip / backflip thing, because like the truth is I never officially go upside down on it. But instead of me talking about it, I'm just going to show you guys right now, and then we'll talk about it in the slow-mo. So you can see on the railing where the door is, there's somebody that's shooting pictures right there. So here's the trick, backflip double tail whip, kind of like a corkscrew thing, and it's crazy. It was nuts. And now seeing the footage of it like slowed down, this really explains what the trick really is, because I don't go fully upside down. I start to take off like going upside down, but then I leave the bike out there and I keep my shoulder dropping around. So it's kind of like a crazy off-axis double tail whip, like I've never even seen anybody do before, but the bike goes upside down like a backflip double tail whip. The fact that that trick right there made it in this video, and there's actually footage for me to go back and relive this, like, means the world to me. I just want to go out there and thank the boys for bringing it up when we were at Woodward, so I was able to relive this, because the truth is I really don't watch a ton of footage of myself from back in the day. Like, I'm not the person that needs to go do that. Like, I lived it before and I have all those memories, and I will relive those memories, but to be able to see footage of myself riding from all the way back then, in 2004 I was 17 turning 18, and like there was so much time that has gone by, and my riding style had changed so much over the years as well. Like, even looking back at some of this footage, like, you can see my handlebars were tiny. Like, at the time nobody had big handlebars. Like, that was the only option that you had really, was to run small handlebars like that. And in 2007 was when everybody went to the bigger handlebars, and now you guys know nothing but big handlebars. So you can see how bent over I was riding the bike, but that's how everybody was. That's just how it was back then. It's crazy to think that BMX has changed so much but so little at the same time, because a lot of these tricks in this video you won't see anybody doing anymore. This was a style back then, and so much has changed when it comes to riding styles in BMX. But I'm just proud that we got this footage, and I'm glad I got to share it with you guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed taking a trip down memory lane with me. If you guys want to watch the full video, it's on Vimeo on Crash Test Dummies. Awesome old mid-school BMX that a lot of you guys would enjoy. But guys, that's it for this one. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you in the next video. Peace.